We got to get back to Tyler, the Creator, man. I'm a big fan of Tyler's, you know, and I recently saw him perform. I know that Tyler was a big fan of yours growing up, right? And then I recall you even reading about you saying some good things about Our Future, how they're pushing boundaries years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
And you said some great things about them as a talent, as pushing boundaries, as a group, Our Future as a whole.
Yeah.
What happened with you guys?
Yeah, no, I really did like them. I thought like, I thought their movement was really cool too.
Did y'all make music?
We didn't make music, but you know, I just felt like, okay, there's a mutual respect, you know. And a lot of the shit that ended up happening after that, like the tweet he put out with talking about Shady 15 and why can't people that are close to him tell him that his shit sucks and it's trash. And like, okay, listen, man, you don't have to like it. And it could really suck. But being that somebody really was cool to you, you would expect some kind of reciprocation, and just don't go public with it and publicly express your opinion and how much my shit is trash. Okay, so I chalk it up to them being young and just kids, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, I've been there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I was dick when I first came out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man, you were.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel bad about it. I'm sorry if I ever was a dick to you, but I don't think I ever was. Was I?
Yeah, one time, man. But hey.
Oh yeah, that's true. We won't talk about that.
Okay.
Nah, man. So I liked him, and then Earl Sweatshirt gets in an interview after Tyler trashes me, and then Earl Sweatshirt, anybody who listens to Eminem's drinking too much Mountain Dew, and I'm just like, really? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys were just on tour with us. We hung out, like, we kicked it, made jokes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the last straw, like, look, I know a lot of this shit. I could come across being very petty.
Yeah.
But at a certain point in time, someone has their breaking point. You know what I'm saying? So when Tyler tweeted out the thing about Walk on Water, this fucking song is horrible, I was like, all right, I need to say something now, because this is fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. You know? But at the same time, I'm not gonna let everybody just keep fucking, I'm not gonna be America's punching bag and motherfuckers just wanna think it's cool and safe to say whatever the fuck they want about me.
I think it shocks people, because for all your career, you was the I just don't give a fuck guy.
That can work both ways.
How so?
Because you don't give a fuck, you will fire back at somebody who says something about you. I picked and chose who that I wanted to say my piece with.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those things were personal. But then there's a lot of things that aren't personal in Kamikaze. You know, it's just the game and competition. You know what I'm saying? And
spirit of an MC.
Spirit of an MC, yeah. But you know, with the Tyler the Creator thing, man, I realize now, and I realized when I said it, but I wasn't like in the mind frame of, I was angry when I said the shit about Tyler. The fact of like, every time I saw this kid, like, always so cool to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I loved his energy, like everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was a funny dude, like he's super charismatic and shit. But I'm sitting back like, man, at what point do I have to say something just to defend myself? And I think that the word that I called him on the album was, on that song, was one of the things where I felt like this might be too far. Because in my
the homophobic
in my
slur.
quest, in my quest to hurt him, I realized that I was hurting a lot of other people by saying it. And at the time, I was so mad, it was just whatever. But in the midst of everything else that was going on this album, and the things that it took to pull this album together and all that kind of shit. It was one of the things that I kept going back to going, I don't feel right with this. Before the album came out, I had the conversation with Paul and we spun the word back. But now I realize people can hear what I'm saying anyways.
In the case of this, man, I feel like just, man, I wish you and Tyler could sit down and hash that one out now that you fired your shot back and he said what he said, because I think that's a special young man and he could probably use your mentorship and you could probably feed off of what he has to offer as well. I could tell it's different from Joe or some of the other names.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's not as personal. It's one of them things like, all right, dude, you deserve a tap now because I think you thought it was cool to just, because you slid with the other things and I didn't say shit. Because like I said, I was chalking it up to them being young and just kids, man. I'm like, but at the same time, at what point do I just gotta keep taking this shit?